Hi, my name's Isaac Fisher, and my project was the Instrument Learners Kit. So there were three portions to my project. One portion was a metronome, another was a note indicator, which I will show you how that works. And the third was supposed to be an intonation checker, which is essentially like how close or how far are you from getting the exact right pitch for the note that you're trying to play. And I didn't have enough time to get to that, unfortunately, because I lost like 3 or 4 weeks for coronavirus. But I'm gonna show you the other two portions of my project right now. All right, so the first portion of my project was the metronome. And so this part I wanted to make completely from scratch. I used no external code sources. I didn't follow any guides. So everything that's here is my own ideas and my own product, I guess. So I actually managed to get this to a pretty finished state. It's soldered down to the board and attached freely to the Raspberry Pi. So what this does, you can see, put it above the light, it's displaying 100 right now. And so if I press these buttons on either side, it'll move the number up and down. So if I press this button, it's 101, 102, 3, 4, 5. One functionality that I added is if you press it twice in succession, it adds 5 instead of 1. So that also works going down. You can go down by 1, 5, 95, I think, yep. And so it works like that. And then what happens when you press this button in the middle is this light blinks at the pace you want it to. So say I wanted my thing to blink at like 80 beats per minute. I tune it to 80, I press this button, and it blinks at 80 beats per minute. And beats per minute is the standard used in music for measuring tempo, right? Or how fast a song plays. So this is a really useful tool. And one problem that this solves as a musician is with a traditional metronome, it can be hard to sync up the beats of like the metronome swinging or the clicks, just because of the way they're set up to an actual song. But what you can do with this is if you press this button at the right time, the clicks will line up to the song, and then once the song stops, if you wanted to continue playing at that same pace, you could do that very easily. So that's that part of the project. All right. And so for the metronome portion of the project, I figured I'd show some code. So this is all written by me. Again, I didn't use any sources for this. So once I assign all of these to a specific GPIO pin, I have a problem with the 4-digit display. And so what that problem is that to get this 4-digit display to work, I have to repeatedly turn each digit on and off with the corresponding parts that I want on. So this is kind of difficult to explain, but I'll try my best. So right here, what I do is I take the first digit, which I believe is the one on the right, but it might be the one on the left. And I take that digit and I turn it on. I also make sure that I'm turning on the digits, or the segments around the display. So the 0, to get the 0. Then I turn that off and I turn this on and I make an 8. I turn this off and turn this on. And I do that for all 4 digits. And so what it is this is actually not displaying all 4 digits at once. Instead, what it's doing is it's cycling very, very quickly through this digit, then this digit, then this digit, then this digit. So what most of this code is dealing with the while loop that I wrote down here, which is actually what's displaying the number. And then the second part of the project, or at least this portion of it, was getting the buttons to work and the LED to light up at the right pace. So these are all pretty simple. I just used the button object from GPIO 0. And from there, it was pretty easy to combine the two into one nice little while loop that cancels actually when I press this button. So it moves in between the two functions as I need it to. And that's the code for the bass guitar metronome. All right, the second part of my project is called a guitar note indicator. And so what I aim to do with this portion is make a device that you can attach to a guitar, and using a little display that the user can control, you would be able to select the note, and using that note, it would, in like a grid pattern, I guess, display where you want or where you need to put your finger to get the correct note. So the way this works is, and it's very, I have to put it in like a prototype form because it would require like drilling into the guitar to actually apply this to where it wouldn't get in the way of playing. But so anyways, I can still show you what it does. So this is the display up here. So this is the note E. So what this is telling me is that this is on the low string, the lowest string on the guitar, and there are no frets that you're touching. So this would just be like plucking the string on a guitar, open. So if I move to F, you can see where the green lights up. So it's kind of hard to tell because it looks very jumbled in the camera, but this is telling me that it's the low string and the first fret. The green indicates frets and the red is indicating the string. So I'll keep going until I get to another string. Okay, so you can see how it's no longer this one, it moved to the A string. So if you want to play an A, it's telling you that the second lowest string, open note, plays an A. So one thing that happens on the guitar as you keep going is notes start to repeat. So you can see, this is another place to play E on the guitar. And so what happens is at the end, it loops through. So if I go like this, boom. It takes me to back to where the E string is. And it also, of course, goes backwards. But yeah, that's how that functions. So a lot of this was just like data entry. So I had to keep all of the strings and notes and fret combinations really in order the whole time. And that was like pretty much the only thing that was any difficulty during this code. So yeah, as you can see, just huge lists everywhere. And I couldn't make it like repetitive or like a looping list per se, because the guitar has some weird intricacies where certain strings don't necessarily line up how they would to make things really easy. But anyways, this is also code that I wrote all by myself, didn't reference anything, but it was pretty straightforward. Once I got past the part where I just like wrote a bunch of combinations of strings and notes, it was pretty easy to keep going. But anyways, that's the last portion of my project. So thank you. All right, so I wanted to take a minute at the end of this video to just say like thank you. You guys gave a great experience to me and the other kids in the class, and we really enjoyed this course. So thank you for putting this together, and thank you for holding this fair, even though it's not necessarily what it would have been. But yeah, that's I just wanted to voice my appreciation for you guys.